Well, hey there, everyone. So this week we're going to be going back into some sewing. It's been a bit since I've done that, maybe like a couple weeks. So there's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, which I say all the time, but that's because I've been wanting to do all these things for a while. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a coat, but not just any coat, because I have always wanted what it's called, I think it's called a princess coat. Generally it's pretty vintage. And I've always wanted one. So pretty much it's just like a big, coat wraparound, but the bottom flares out almost like a dress, but it's a coat. So you're supposed to wear it over something, generally a dress. I'm just trying to prepare myself for the winter that will not be this cold, but I want to wear warm things and cute things. So this is just more autumn content. You're welcome. So part of the pattern that I'm going to be using is this one from like I'm assuming 70s. This pattern tells you to put shoulder pads in there, which I'm not going to do, so I'm assuming it's like the 70s. So I'm going to be using this top bit here and then changing the bottom to be shorter and then more of a circle skirt. So I'm not going to be using the bottom pattern for this at all, but I'm going to attempt to use the top pattern for this, and instead of like a belt, I'm going to add like buttons there and then maybe like a strap, like you know how jackets usually have like a wraparound, like a robe, what's it called, like a robe string something, to wrap around and tie it, a tie, that's what it's called. So I'm going to start with that, and since this is a vintage pattern, I laid out all of the big sheets and I traced over it instead of cutting it out because it's vintage, so I didn't really want to chop it up. I should be doing that more, but I don't. So yeah, for now I've got the whole top figured out, and then I'm gonna figure out the bottom later. I definitely should be putting a lining in this, but I don't want to, so I'm probably not going to. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on over to my sewing table. I need to cut out all of the fabric. And we're just going to start with top. We're going to start with the top and see how that turns out first. And the material that I am using, I did thrift. This was a beautiful find. I don't know exactly what it is made out of, but it's a nice sturdy fabric. There was tons of it. I either got it from a thrift store or from Goodwill. So this is thrifted. And I love it. And it gives me so good autumn vibes. So that's what I'm going to be using today. So anyway, let's head on over there. The first step of putting this bodice together is sewing the darts in the two front pieces and then 2 darts in the back bodice piece. Then those 3 pieces get sewn together at the shoulders. After that, it's time to do the collar, so I just take the 2 pieces that I cut out and I put them together and sew them all the way around except for the bottom, then turn it right sides out. then that collar just gets sewn straight onto the outside of the bodice piece that we have. And then for the facing, completely ignore what I'm doing here because I definitely wasn't paying attention and it is wrong. So switch those pieces. I had to take it apart and switch them. And then the facing gets placed onto the outer edge of the bodice, and that is what is going to be flipped inside and encase all of the exposed seams. Also, peep my new sewing machine. I got it when my grandma passed recently, so now I got a little upgrade. For the outside edges of the facing, I'm just going to do a zigzag stitch over all of the edges just to encase them, because those aren't going to be tucked away anywhere, so those just get a little zigzag to keep the fraying in check. Then it gets sewn together at the sides, and we're about ready for the sleeves. Now for the sleeves, you just sew them together, gather the top to fit the armhole, and then sew it straight on, and then the bodice is pretty much there. This is turning out so cute so far. The top is pretty much done. I still need to do buttons and hem the sleeves and whatnot, but I'm liking the vibes. I like the poof. We're doing good. Alright, now that the bodice is pretty much done, I think I'm going to move on to the skirt. So pretty much what I'm going to do for that is just do, so I want it to be like a circle skirt, but I can't exactly cut it out the way you do normal circle skirts. So I have to cut out like 4/4 of a circle, and hopefully when I put it all together it becomes a circle. I still have to cuff the sleeves and add the buttons and stuff to the bodice, but I'm gonna just wait a little bit for those. I'm gonna do the skirt first, so I'm just gonna put all those panels together, and then I'm pretty sure I can just slap it on the bodice and we'll see where we are then. Alright, everything is connected. I did have to do some pleating in the back to make the skirt fit the bodice, but I got it to work. Now I just have to hem the bottom of the skirt and then throw the buttons and buttonholes on the bodice and then fix the sleeves. And I think this bad boy is done. I did want to add a strap and then maybe even like a little cape thing, but I don't have any more of this material and I'm tired and don't really feel like doing it. So that's just kind of what I'm looking at right now. Personally, I think it already fits pretty well, so I don't think it really needs like a tie or anything. It just would have been, nicer to make it look more like a professional coat. But so far, I think it's looking pretty good. So yeah, I guess with that, I will see you in the final look. Alright, here she is. I think it turned out really, really cute. I love the poofy sleeves. It gives me, like, in the material, it just gives me, like, Sherlock vibes. And I really wish I had enough to make, like, the little cape for, like, the top. But I didn't have enough material and, like, a tie. But I still think it, like, fits pretty well without, like, a tie and all that. So I think it turned out really, really cute. This is definitely something that I'm going to be wearing come winter time. Like, especially with this outfit. Like, I think this is kind of smashing. I really like it. So I'm warm right now. It was kind of ironic that I was like sweating buckets while making this jacket, but you know what? We do what we do for content. So yeah, even though it doesn't have like a lining, I'm still really happy with it. Like, I feel like it doesn't necessarily need a lining. It's definitely not going to be as warm without a lining, but I did like finish most of the edges, which I usually don't do, but like with material like this, it frays really bad. So I did opt to finish most of the edges on the machine. So I think it's going to hold up pretty good. It's not something I'd probably throw in the washer, like most of the things I make, but I think it's still gonna hold up pretty well. All in all, I think it turned out pretty much how I wanted it to turn out. So that's pretty dope. Yeah, it's definitely giving vintage, like 30s to 60s vibes, and I'm very happy about that. You're welcome for more autumn content, because that is all I seem to be into doing right now, as it's like 100,000 degrees outside and I just want it to be fall, and I want to drink hot tea without feeling like my insides are warm as well as my outsides, if that makes any sense, even though I do it anyways. I want to wear all these sweaters that I make. I want to wear all these jackets that I make. I just want to wear winter clothes. I thrive in winter fashion. So yeah, let me know if you liked this video. Give me more suggestions about what you think I should do, because I will do probably most things. So anywho, if you liked what I did, go and like and subscribe. I post most Saturdays, mostly noon, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.